In our language, when we say welcome, we say wachie. And I want to welcome you to the River Cree Nation and tell you a little bit about the history of the community. We're a part of what we call Treaty 5, and the River Cree Nation is located in the Interlake region in Manitoba, adjacent to Lake Winnipeg. Shortly after the signing of Treaty 5 in 1875, the chief at that time made a decision to move members from the Norway House community to our present-day location along Lake Winnipeg because of the failing economy at Norway House at that time, because York boats were no longer in use for freighting furs up and down Lake Winnipeg to Lower Fort Garry, so they moved a number of families south.
Today we have a population of about 3,890 with approximately 2,126 on reserve and the balance off reserve. Ever since the community was formed, it was quite industrious in terms of building its own housing and pursuing, of course, agriculture. Commercial fishing was the mainstay in terms of the community.
Fishing has been a big part of the Fish River community since its settlement. Our people still today, we have a pretty vibrant fishing community, and a lot of revenue is generated through the fishing industry for our members.
We have approximately 228 fishers that are involved with their families. The leadership will be looking at constructing a new fish plant which will pack and process. Leadership is moving on that file. We hope to see something in place within the next 6 to 8 months.
I think one of the big things with our community is the planning that was undertaken a number of years ago, looking at everything from the infrastructure requirements for the community, the possibility of establishing businesses to service the member of the community. And part of the long-term planning was to look at what are the needs of the community, and also in terms of development of our governance structures. One being the area of finance, which when we completed what we call our financial administration law for the community, we were also able to access funding through the First Nation Finance Authority.
River Cree Nation was the first First Nation in Manitoba to obtain the Financial Management Systems Certification. River Cree Nation obtained the FMS Certification because it was a goal and a mission of Chief and Council, who really believed in this process and really spearheaded and motivated staff to pursue the certification.
The Financial Management Systems Certification provides third-party evidence to all stakeholders that the Fisher River First Nation has met the standards that allows them to function in today's world as other orders of government. It demonstrates that Fisher River has met international standards around financial management, governance, and some HR and governance matters. It provides the confidence to stakeholders and other orders of government that Fisher River can engage with them on the same basis that they would engage with other orders of government or the private sector.
So a number of businesses were financed through the Finance Authority, but it all came out part of the planning. And today we have a number of business entities established servicing the members of the River Cree Nation and surrounding communities, but it also creates employment for our members, and it's also a source of revenue generation also for the community. A couple of good examples, one being the Castle Building Supply Store. We have a number of capital projects that have been started in 2017, and we're capturing a lot of the revenue in terms of the building supply materials for those projects. So it's revenue generation supporting those capital projects.
In terms of the new high school, it is a $25 million project. We secured money through the National Innovations Fund up to $10 million, and the balance the River Cree Nation had to bridge finance. With the new high school, it means that going forward, we're able to address the needs because of the population growth that's taking place right now. It also means more employment, and we're looking at hopefully completing by September 2018. In terms of the community center, what that new community center means for the community also is that it will create more employment. We'll have, I believe, 60 VLTs on site. It will be able to accommodate up to 600 people within the main hall, and we'll have some small offices as well as smaller boardrooms attached to that. It's a focal point, as it is in any other community. Community halls are buildings that are required to get the message across and to have sharing circles as well as information sharing. So we're very glad that this project is well underway, and we're looking at about maybe another 2 months of construction. We're pushing for December to have this complete of 2017.
And we've been focusing a lot in recent times also in the area of green energy with our geothermal.
We have approximately 506 homes on reserve. Since 2013, we've retrofitted 244 of those homes to geothermal.
We're also in development phase right now for a 1 megawatt solar farm, which will generate power, and basically it'll be put back on the grid to be sold to Manitoba Hydro. If we get this project off the ground, it'll be the largest solar installation in Manitoba. If the model works well for Fisher River, we're looking at moving to other First Nation communities with that model to support them for solar developments. So there's business opportunities for Fisher River and partners. I think the key for our community is not only the stable leadership, but also the long-term planning. In terms of our local partnerships with our organizations and support from our members, we work hard at informing our members in terms of all the developments that are going on and why we need support. Like, for example, on the land management, people know locally that there'll come a point in time where we're going to require them to support the land management, and we educate our members in terms of the benefits, not only for themselves but for the community overall. We're starting to see a lot of benefits, and there's a lot of potential, I think, for other First Nations. You know, if that model we've developed can be used by other First Nations, I'm sure they'll have success with it. But I think the key for us is just continuing to push ahead with our goals of becoming a self-sustaining community. Planning, again, is the key to the success that we're having.